Thank you. It is one team and one fight that brings them together. And speaking of people that bring forces together, it is my distinct privilege and pleasure to introduce you to our welcoming speaker from the University of Miami, Dr. Erin Kobetz, who not only serves as our director of the Firefighter Cancer Initiative, but is also our vice provost for research and scholarship at the University of Miami. And on a personal note, a terrific mentor that has trained future generations of firefighter cancer researchers. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Kobetz.
Thank you, Alberto. Admittedly, I was late because there was an accident on 826. And in those moments, I feel extraordinarily grateful to know so many firefighters. You all are really everyday heroes. The truck in front of me flipped over. And so it gave me pause and also an opportunity to reflect on why we're here today, which is that no firefighter should be diagnosed with, let alone die of cancer. When I was contacted by Palm Beach County Fire Rescue 8 years ago, I was really reluctant about the idea that this concept of cancer in the fire service represented a credible opportunity for research. I was really reluctant. And there were some people who are in the room today who were, I see Keith Tyson, one of the early ones, whose tenacity in making me pay attention to the fact that this was an issue is something that I will never, ever, ever forget. This was I always say this was like a little moment that became a movement. Look at all of you in this room and all of you here online, and together we are advancing really important science that changes lives because it's practical. We're not just generating new knowledge. We're taking knowledge that's informed by our collaboration with firefighters and then rapidly translating that into actionable opportunity to reduce risk and exposure. And we do that together. So thank you, and thank you for being here. I would be remiss for not welcoming you on behalf of the University of Miami Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center, which is part of the network of the National Cancer Institute designated cancer centers. We're one of 70 other cancer centers in the nation that have been recognized for the impact of not just our clinical care, also our science. And part of the story that we told when we applied for NCI designation was our story, the story of what happens in this room and what we've been able to inspire together. So thank you so very much. I am looking forward to listening to and learning from all of you. And I'm really excited to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Paul Demers, who is going to introduce the monograph produced by IARC that substantiates that firefighting is a Class 1 carcinogen. That's something that many of us have been fighting for. We've long acknowledged that there was something unique about firefighting that increased predisposition to cancer. The IARC monograph in the scientific world is the credibility that's necessary for us to understand and classify cancer as a Class 1 carcinogen that's equivalent to smoking and obesity. So Paul is going to come and talk about that. There's going to be a panel that discusses it further. Much of the work that allowed IARC to make that determination comes from the scientific discovery of many of you in this room. That's a massive accomplishment. Things like that don't happen readily in science. When we first started, Keith can attest that I said, science is slow. We don't find things quickly. And he would say to me, well, patience is a virtue for people who aren't in pain. People are dying. You're going to have to move quicker. And so in 8 years since the inception of the Firefighter Cancer Initiative, we now have an IARC monograph. So thank you to all of you for being our collaborators and also for pushing us to take our science beyond what I think any of us here at the University of Miami ever dreamt was possible. Thank you, and I look forward to interacting with you all day today.